Hey everybody, Mike Manavian here. It is May 4th, 2022. Hope everybody's doing well. So there was this story that came out recently about this golf ball getting pelted, this house getting pelted by golf balls, getting $5 million in Massachusetts, um, in Kingston, which is in the South Shore. And I'm only referencing this article because of these multiple pictures of the house. We'll come back to that in a second. So just an overlook of where it is in Boston, just South Shore on the way to Cape Cod. Um, and here's the golf course. So if we look closer to the 15th hole here, it's dogleg left. It's interesting to note from the back tee boxes. From the back tee box, it's 370. This is the house in question here. As the crow flies, 371 yards to the green. From the front tee box, 295, 319 from the second tee box, and the fourth tee box, or the third tee box, 348. However, there are a massive row of trees here that protect this house. There's trees in this empty lot, there's trees around it. The article mentions that there's this bunker that people try to cut off. So I'm trying to figure out which set of tees would be the most availability, which tee box would allow for the most availability to hit this house. Because they said it was 600 hits. So the 200 yard, people who play the front tee box are going to hit it in about 200 yards. This is a 60-yard wide cone. And even though it's 60 yards wide, you still have an additional, you have an additional distance of, let's see here, 30 yards to the left. So that's a 60-yard wide miss of a player who, from the front tee, is going to be probably trying to hit it in this general area in the middle of the fairway. So that's 78 yards. So I just don't see a person curving it off a front tee box to the left 78 yards as much as I see them curving it 78 yards to the right. I believe this house here is in more danger, just by the math of, the majority of golfers are right-handed, it's over 85%, I believe. So I just don't see it happening from the front tee box. The second tee box, at 220 yards out to the middle of the fairway. Again, it's just another 30 yards or so off the tee box to the left. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible. I just don't see the math on it being on the inside left side of the dog leg. I think there's something fishy going on here. So by looking at all these cones that are between 60 and 70 yards wide and people trying to hit the middle of the fairway in order to score, why would this house be so inundated with golf balls? That's point one. Point two, if we go to the old time back machine here, the Wayback Machine, here's when in the beginning there was no golf course, right? And then, poof, there was a golf course. However, there's no house. So the house was there after the golf course. There's articles mentioning that the house was there before the golf course. And this is not the house in 2003, nor in 2004 where the houses were built across the street. It's not until 2014 when they start building a house. Now, you'll notice between 2008 and 2014, a lot of these trees were removed. And there's a skinny row of trees which are still there. However, they have enough trees here that are left to protect the house from the left tee shot. And it really would have to be from this first tee shot, people trying to whack it. But I just don't, again, I just don't see people intentionally doing it, obviously. I see more golfers slicing than drawing as a general rule. And finally, the other piece is that the driving range is 250 yards to this back tree line. And then how far would it's 326 yards to the cart path roughly, and then you need to get another 46 yard bounce to the house, and that would take a lot of the impetus away from the energy. Now, the profile the elevation here from the top of the range. The range is downhill, now, but how downhill? It starts at 142 feet and goes down to its lowest point to be 128 feet, and climbs back uphill. So if you're looking at a 300-yard drive, you're looking at basically 326 downhill. You're losing 12%. You know, that's a big carry. You would think they might have, with a 250-yard range, potential fix to this problem is limited distance golf balls. Um, this golf course is not one of the famed golf courses. It doesn't have the history of good players and tournaments and stuff. Why would they have Pro V1s in the range? Is what I'm thinking. They probably have just normal range balls, assuming they have normal range balls. So there's a lot of factors here which I just don't see the math adding up. I'm not saying it's not possible. I think there might be there's definitely damage. I get that, but when we go back to the house, you'll notice that the house is hit. Let me just show you the location of the house. We look at the house being built here in 2000 and good video. You can see here the house. You've got the 4 windows on the first floor, the 2 on the second floor, and 2 on the third floor that are close together. So this panel here is this panel here on the left. So you've got the 2 in the top, 2 in the middle, and then 4 on the first floor. So this would be the panel, and it makes sense that these 3 windows would also be taken out, as well as whatever this image, the circle is here to the right. So if these windows on the back side of the house were taken out, I would say they'd be more apt to driving range damage, but you're not hitting this side of the house, the left side of the house, as it were, the left side of the house from the driving range. It's just not. I do understand that you're going to be hitting the left side. However, from the tee box, that's a long ways left from where people are aiming and where the general patterns of golf shots go. Then this is 45, 60 yards offline, and it's not only 60 yards offline, it's closer to 100 yards offline of where the ball should be ending up for high handicaps. So there's something fishy going on here. Some of the math doesn't add up. At least you wouldn't expect a house on the left side of a hole to be pelted with golf balls as severely as this house is. Going back to the most recent image here and seeing that, where's a person going to be wanting to hit this, and where does it end up? I would say there's a lot more golf balls on the right side than the left side here. Interesting debate. Give me your comments below.